oil cooler and the oil pressure sensor and temp sensor today. Yesterday I went to drive this shit and it started, hella smoke started coming from the engine bay, so I was like, bro, what the fuck? And I start checking shit out, and I looked back at the bleeder valve because when I installed the motor, it still had a plastic bleeder valve on it, because the DEs only have one bleeder valve, but the HRs have two. So I kind of had a feeling that plastic one was going to go out. So I took a look at it, and sure shit, that shit broke off. So that's what usually happens with these older plastic bleeder valves. That's why you want to replace them with a metal one, because that shit happens and then you have a bad day. But I replaced that shit. O'Reilly's actually carried a metal one, so that was cool. But obviously my radiator was still full because it was just coming out where the bleeder valve was at. So kind of hoping it doesn't overheat and I'm able to make it there, because I didn't bleed it. I just replaced the part and let it run for a little bit, because I don't have a radiator bleeder at my house. So, but we should be able to get there. We're on the way. If anything, I could just stop and turn the car off, let it cool off for a little bit. But yeah, we are on the way. I'm just gonna bring you guys along with me all day and let you guys see how the oil cooler install is, and then all the errands that we gotta run, because I gotta get Teflon tape, electrical tape, some electrical connections like butt ends and stuff like that. I think that's it. But oh, and maybe some metal drill bits, because I don't know how good the ones that I have are. But other than that, we on the way. Alright, y'all, I have arrived. I'm gonna unload, get everything set up how I want it, and then start running the errands. Here's the swapping, kind of a closer look now that it's all finished. So that's what I did with my AC lines for now. I just bent them out the way and then made the 4-inch cuts on the core support. But I'll have like a build breakdown video of everything and how everything works, so you guys could know how shit goes down. Yes, sir. Alright, y'all, so we got the oil draining. Just got back from running errands. Drain plug, the new washer. This is all the shit I'm throwing on. I got a Grassroots oil cooler. I have a glow shift temp and pressure sensor gauge, and then I also have the little trim piece for it. I got like Teflon tape and electrical tape and shit like that, butt connectors, more wire if I have to extend it. Yeah, basically gonna throw all this shit on. Not sure if I'm gonna have the gauge hooked up by today, but I'll definitely have the oil cooler on. And the oil cooler lines and stuff. This oil cooler's sick as fuck. You should be able to see it from my bumper, which is pretty cool. But here's the lines. So yeah, should look sick. Oil cooler's installed. Just gonna let it get operating temp and then check the oil, because with a oil cooler it adds like I think a quart of oil. So double check the oil levels after it gets to operating temp, and the thermostat opens on the oil cooler, and then check for leaks and shit, and we'll be good. Alright, y'all, it's the next day. I didn't end up filming after finishing up on the oil cooler just because I didn't have all the right tools to do it, so it was a bitch to mount it up and shit like that, and I was just having issues trying to find a spot where I wanted to mount it at and where it also wouldn't get in the way of my bumper because I didn't want to fucking trim my bumper. But we found a spot, I got it all installed, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when I get home. But I'm on the way home now. Install went pretty smoothly once I got it mounted up. The only thing that worried me a little bit is after I was done installing it, on cold starts the car smokes now, which is weird. I don't really know why, but other than that, car runs smooth. Oil cooler's working how it should. But yeah, oil cooler's done. Next we just gotta wire up the gauge, and then this car will be fully ready for the drift event coming up. Be fully ready for Winter Jam, and then all I gotta get is tires. But I just want to get the gauge up and running and then get it tuned. That way I know this motor's healthy, because I haven't even seen this oil pressure yet since the motor's been in, so it's still kind of a mystery. But I mean, it runs healthy, it runs strong, smooth, so no doubt in my mind says that it has low oil pressure or anything. But yeah, I'll catch back up with you guys when I get home so I can show you guys how the oil cooler looks. Alright, I'm back home, and it's not making the noise anymore. Of course, because I wanted to get it on video and show you guys, but it's literally not even making the noise anymore. It was almost like every time the belt rotated, it would make a little, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I mean, it's not there anymore. But there's the oil cooler, you can see it peeking through right there. Kind of ran the lines. The lines are really long, so I looped one right there, the longer one, and just looped it around and came kind of where the sway bar is, and then I just zip tied both the lines to the sway bar, and then it went straight to the sandwich plate. But yeah, looks pretty sick. The only thing is the G's upside down, but I mean, I don't really fucking give a fuck. I mean, it's doing what it needs to do, cool down my oil. So next on the list is wiring up the gauge, and then should be good with prep for my next event. Yeah, well, and a tune, but that's besides the point. But yeah, you guys should stay tuned, because I'm gonna have a car check on this car real soon, breaking down the whole setup. That way you guys could do it as well and not have to be clueless on how everything works. Alright y'all, so I've been fucking wiring this gauge up, and I just wanted to show you guys how I did it and where I routed the wires, just to help out, because literally no videos on YouTube about it, and I hate that because I had to figure this shit out on my own. It makes it kind of annoying. But so from the oil cooler, or from the sandwich plate, I ran the wires following the alternator wire, and I just ran it from this, literally the same way that it runs, all the way across the top. I'm gonna zip tie this shit too and clean it up, but and then I wired it up through here, and then there's a boot down there that your wires hook up to from the bottom on the inside of the cabin. I just ran the wires through there, and then see if the gauge is working. I had to extend, it looks like a mess right now, I'll clean it up, but I had to extend the wires because they were too short, because I'm going to be running the gauge up here. But if you look under here, I'm not sure if you guys could see. I'm going to have to, let me put my flashlight on really quick. Right back. Okay, I got a flashlight. So basically I did fuse taps because it's just easier. And so I fuse tapped into the electric parts. This one right here. And then I also did electric parts down here. So the yellow one connects to this one, the red one connects to this one. And then for the dimmer, I'm not gonna hook up the dimmer because I don't really care if the gauge dims when my lights go on, because it's not even that bright to begin with, so it's not gonna bug me. And then for the ground wire, so for the ground wire, you could see that bolt right there is where I put the ground. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish up cleaning up all this wiring. Just gotta put electrical tape and shit like that around it. And then I'm gonna get the gauge pod on and all mounted up, and then I'll show you guys when I'm done. All right, wires all cleaned up. W lady. Wish I could do that good. No, I literally just electrical taped it because I don't have any wire streamers or whatever the fuck they're called. But yeah, I'm gonna get all this tucked up in the weather stripping. I got the single gauge pod, so you guys will see when I'm all done. But wiring is all done. All right, y'all, I just finished the gauge. Everything works. Top is temp, and then bottom is pressure. Let the car warm up. Yes, sir. Oil pressure looking good, gauge looking good. We ready for winter jam, baby.